Happy Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Christy Stewart. We are still keeping an eye on Hurricane Erin. We're starting to see the impacts from Hurricane Erin. The worst of this is going to be felt as it's just off to our east coast throughout the day on Thursday. So we're already seeing that very rough surf, high rip current risk, recommended to not be in the water. We can see that camera rotating there. We will see these waves getting higher as we do progressively continue to see Erin getting a little bit closer to us off to our east. A look at NC-12. We're already starting to see a little bit of sand that's covering some of the roadways. Crews are working to try to keep that sand, those dunes built up, so that is going to try to add some more of that protection as we do see some of those worst impacts from Hurricane Erin. But ocean overwash is definitely going to be happening with that, as we're going to be seeing 10 to 18 foot waves for the Outer Banks, 5 to 10 foot waves for Virginia Beach. We're looking at having this mainly being a windy storm for us versus seeing rain. We won't really be seeing much rain, just a couple of showers here and there from some of those far outer bands, but we will be seeing some strong coastal winds. We'll see those gusts about 25 miles per hour inland. Along the shore, we're going to be seeing 30 to 35 mile per hour gusts, and the Outer Banks is going to be getting hit the hardest, 45 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts. And that is going to be bringing us some tidal flooding. So the highest tide cycle that we're going to be seeing is going to be Thursday evening. That will be our worst tidal flooding. It's going to be moderate levels for most locations. However, few locations are going to be seeing that reaching into the higher tidal flooding ranges. About 2 to 3 feet of inundation is what we're expecting with that. So here's a look at Hurricane Erin as it is off the southeast coast of the United States. We are going to be continuing to see that tracking to the north. Right now it's moving to the north at 13 miles per hour as a Category 2 hurricane. That is going to be predicted to strengthen a little bit more into a Category 3 hurricane as it's just off to the east of us. Then as it continues to track through the Atlantic, eventually decreasing in strength. Again, it will stay in the Atlantic the whole time, so no landfall is expected, but we will see those strong winds, which are going to be bringing us some of the concern with that tidal flooding and again that ocean overwash and those strong waves. We do have a tropical storm warning that's in effect for the Outer Banks, our coastal waters, Dare County, Virginia Beach, as well as the eastern shore. That is where we are looking at having those northeast winds gusting 35 to 50 miles per hour. So what are we expecting as for those winds for everywhere else? What we are going to be seeing here, this is our sustained wind forecast throughout this evening. A lot of locations only seeing about 10-15 mile per hour sustained winds. Outer Banks 20 to 25 mile per hour sustained winds. That does increase in strength as we get into your Thursday morning and afternoon. We'll be seeing sustained winds inland about 20 miles per hour, along the coast 30 miles per hour, 40 miles closer for those sustained winds down towards the Outer Banks. And then as we get into Thursday evening, starting to see those winds pulling away as that system continues to move more off to our north. As for the gusts, that's what we're looking at as seeing some of those damaging gusts as down towards the Outer Banks. So for this evening, we'll see those wind gusts up to about 20 miles per hour for most. Outer Banks seeing those wind gusts up to about 30 miles per hour. But as we get into your Thursday morning, that's where we'll be seeing the strongest wind gusts. Outer Banks 50 to 55 miles per hour, especially the southern portions of the Outer Banks. For near the Albemarle Sound, we're talking about 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts, and along the rest of our shorelines, we're talking about 30 mile per hour gusts to 35 mile per hour gusts. Inland, about 25 mile per hour gusts. So that's what we're looking at for the worst of these winds that will be continuing for us throughout the day on Thursday. By the afternoon, our Virginia communities could be seeing those wind gusts about 30 to 40 miles per hour is what we are looking at with that. Eventually, as we get into Friday, those winds start to weaken. For the waves, we will be seeing those waves about 13, 14, 15 feet around Hatteras, maybe a little bit higher in some locations. Virginia Beach seeing those 5 to 10 foot waves throughout the day on Thursday. Again, dangerous surf out there, not recommended to go in the water for the day on Thursday. And we'll see those wave conditions improving a bit as we get into this weekend as Erin continues to make its way off the shore. So ocean overwash is likely as we head throughout the next several high tide cycles. We're also going to be seeing some tidal flooding. So we're looking at having that tidal flooding that will be impactful for us. The most impactful Thursday evening. This is Thursday 9 p.m. for Sewell's Point, 5.9. That is at that moderate tidal flooding stage. Then after that, the next high tide cycle Friday morning, we are looking at that being in the minor tidal flooding stage. Most areas are going to be seeing during that peak high tide Thursday evening. That's where we're going to be seeing a lot of locations in that moderate tidal flooding. flooding, but some locations will be reaching into major tidal flooding categories. That includes Duck, the Lynn Haven Inlet. But again, most locations look to be in that moderate. We're expecting to see about 2 to 3 feet of inundation for your Thursday evening. So some roads will become impassable. Make sure that if you come across some of those flooded roadways, you turn around and don't try to cross it. Now, if you're in one of our coastal communities that usually sees tidal flooding and you don't have to be out there Thursday evening, recommended to stay inside. We will see from the outer bands of Erin, couple of spotty showers the next couple of days, but not a lot of rain. Again, it's mainly a windy system for us that we are going to be seeing. The rain stays offshore in the Atlantic for us, so not too concerned as far as the rain, but the wind will be bringing us that tidal flooding, which will bring some water, of course, on some of our roadways, especially for our coastal communities. After Erin, a couple of waves that we're keeping an eye on in the Atlantic. Both of these have a 60% chance of formation as we do move through the next 5 days. We'll continue to watch that. Again, Erin will be impacting us today and into tomorrow. Friday, those impacts will be a lot less for us. Should be a pretty decent weekend. Temperatures will be pretty much staying in the 80s.